but I don't see any attendees.
No, they'll start only after 4:30, right?
4:30, yeah. Two guys have recently passed certification, the same certification from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I saw that. There's a lot of scope in UAE side for this certification.
I think in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
there are some scope for Saudis only, because positioners like reserved for Saudis only.
Okay.
So they have good opportunity. So we have one right now. She has already joined. Hi everyone, welcome to this final part of this webinar, and we will start now. Okay, first we'll do some recap. I hope you are able to listen my voice. As we have already explained, these are committee member, Mr. Ishaq, he is our chair, and Mr. Kanagraj, co-chair, and other committee members are like Mr. Anjin Saifuddin, Mr. Sachin Malhotra, and it's me, Noor. Excuse me, Miss Salma. Uh, yeah, okay. Hi, Philip.
Hi Noor, I just came the back end.
Okay, thanks for joining. My voice is clear. Just I want to make sure.
Yes, I can hear.
Okay,
Continue.
okay, okay. I'll continue now. So we have already presented this information like content about what is certification, what is your eligibility requirement. Okay, how you can renew your certification and content of this course. So we have already explained there. Now HIMSS provide 4 types of certification: CPHIMS, CHIMS, and new one is CPDSTS, Certified Professional Digital Transformation Strategy. This is eligibility requirement. If you are going for CHIMS, you have to have high school diploma equivalent, and for CPHIMS, you should have graduate degree or baccalaureate. If you don't have any degree, you should have experience around 10 years experience in healthcare IT. As we know, all HIMSS certification is for main content area like health care and technology environment, health informatics, healthcare information, system management, content analysis, system design, system selection, implementation support, maintenance, privacy and security, and management leadership. Okay, we have already covered these topics, so we'll move to so today we are going to present our final webinar, which contain privacy and security and leadership and management. And in between, we'll get some question and answer. Okay, so we'll start with first. Try to answer this question in chat box. Which of the following define hospital mission statement? Option A, describe the strategic direction of the organization. Option B, describe the fundamental principle of organization. Option C, describe the purpose of the organization, the individuals and community it serves. And option D, describe the criteria for patient admission for the organization. So you have 5 seconds to answer. We have Mr. Vinay, he has replied A. Carmen replied A, option A. Okay. So remember, we are talking about mission. Why hospital exists or any organization exists. So in this case, right answer is option C. Describe the purpose of the organization, the individual and community it serves. Okay. So right answer is C. Now we'll go to next question. Number 2, to enhance the health of communities and customers we serve is an example of hospital. statement. A, vision, B, mission, C, goal, and D, value. Please write your option in chat box. Yeah, the right option is B, mission. Now we'll move to third question. A voluntary organizational evaluation by an independent external body is termed as certification, accreditation, licensure, and credentialing. Okay. Now reply for answer question 3. Yeah, Carmen, she is right. Option B is right answer. Accreditation. Mr. Vinay and Mr. Wahaj Ahmed, you are all right. So now we'll move little fast, okay, to save our time. Now, number 4, you as a project manager is given a new project. Your project is to integrate the various sources of data, primarily of patient data, clinical data, and data from the laboratory, testing, MRI, and radiology. What standards should you be concerned with in integrating these data repositories? What standards? Okay, select the right. So remember, when we talk about data integration, we use HL7. So in this scenario, right option will be C, HL7 and DICOM. Remember, X2L is the part of HL7. This we use this standard we use for financial data, okay? And EHR, it's electronic health record system. It's not a standard, it's a system itself. So in this scenario, right options are 2, HL7 and DICOM. So option C is the right choice. Question number 5. In an attempt to minimize risk and improve patient care, patient bracelets are tagged with transmitter. What type of technology is used in this application? Option A, infrared technology. Option B, radio frequency identifier technology, wireless technology, and satellite technology. Yeah, this is obvious. Radio frequency identifier, RFID. Now we'll move to question number 6. Dr. Thompson introduced doses that he is prescribing for his asthma patient on his tablet. The application program popped up a window and alerted that the charges is too high. Indeed, he had typed incorrectly. What classification of application is he using with an alert notification? This is very easy question. Options are A, data mining, option B, e-prescribing, option C, e-health, and option D, decision support. Yes, Mr. Wahaj, everyone is right. Yeah, decision support. Now we'll move to question number 7. Several CTO stands for Chief Technology Officer of hospitals have expressed the same concern about having cloud computing in their facilities. Their common concern is A, high implementation and maintenance cost. Number B, option B, no ROI. ROI stands for return on investment. Option C, requires specialized technical skill in SaaS. SaaS stands for software as a service. And option D, privacy and security. Yeah, you are all right. Option D. because we are moving from premise data to cloud. Okay, so our primary concern is security, because third party is going to handle our data. So data security is our highest concern. You are all right. Now we will go to number 8. The data collected from hospital, ambulatory, medical care survey, emergency department patient record for hospital, ABC, shows that biggest problem about the services is the emergency room wait time. Before the CEO stands for Chief Executive Officer, launch a team to fix the problem. What should he do first? Option A, develop a project charter to launch a project, conduct a root cause analysis. Option C, begin with initiation and then later plan and follow PMI. PMI stands for Project Management Institute. PMI methodology to be successful in project to fix the emergency room wait time problem. And option D, conduct cost benefit analysis to see if it is worthwhile to fix the problem. Okay. Yes, everyone is right. First, we need to do root cause analysis. All the steps come later, like start project. Okay. Now we'll move to next. Question number 9. The activities during system analysis phase of the system development life cycle is all except feasibility analysis, request for information, develop project plan, cost benefit analysis. Okay. So in this question, we are asking the activities during the system analysis phase of the system. Okay. Okay. Remember, request for information and request for proposal is part of system design phase. Okay. Okay. So B is right option. This is not part of system analysis. Request for information and request for proposal. Now we'll go to question number 10. Which of the following is not found in project charter? A, summary budget. B, project description. Option C, project purpose or reason for the initiative. And D, detailed business objectives. Remember, project charter is very compact document, and once we establish our project charter, we rarely change it. So it contains summary budget, project description, project purpose or reason for the initiative. Okay, D is not right. Okay, project charter doesn't contain detailed business objectives. Okay. Now we'll move to question number 11. In the evaluation of the requirement of the graphical user interface for reporting the outcome of the patient MR test, the committee decided to buy the reporting software package. Which phase in this health system development? Okay, just before we discuss about RFP and RFI. So management has decided to buy the system. So in which phase they are? Option A, initiation. Option B, planning. Option C, system analysis. And option D, system design. So remember, right answer is system design. Remember, system RFP RFP and RFI happen in system design phase. I have received answer from two guys. System design, yeah, from Mr. Vinay and from Carmen. Yes, you're right. Now we'll move to question. Next question, that is, during system design, all of the following are tasks in the design phase, except defining specification, conversion and migration strategies. Option C, security risk assessment and mitigation. And option D, remediation of gaps. Remember, right option is D. Remediation of gaps is not part of the system design. Okay, we find gap during system analysis. Okay, when we do system analysis, we identify gaps. Okay. Question number 13. What is the percentage increase in workload if a provider was seeing 20% per day and is now seeing 30% per day? It's very easy, just a tricky question. Mr. Bashar Abu Jad, he has replied B. Yeah, 50% increase. It's very easy. Just 20%. There are 20% per day, and now 30% means 10%. 10% increase means just 50%. Just imagine if percent increase 40, so it will be 100%. Okay, and remember, in real exam, you will not get a mathematical question which need a lot of calculation. Okay. Now we'll move to next question. When reviewing contract with vendor, what is the most important item the CIO of healthcare facility need to pay attention to? So we are talking about, see the keyword here, CIO, Chief Information Officers. Okay, keep it in mind while answering the question. So option A, work with CEO, make sure the vendor's proposal is aligned with the organization strategic plan. Option B, work with CFO. CFO stands for Chief Financial Officer, to ensure the budget can meet the vendor's payment of their service. Option C, work with legal counsel in terms of pricing and deliverable agreements. And option D, work with legal counsel in review of hyper-regulation. Just so here keyword is CIO, Chief Information Officer. So his role is he's going to be responsible to secure information, okay, patient data. So in this scenario, right option will be D. Someone has already answered. Yeah. From Mr. Vinay, yeah, D. Work with legal counsel in review of hyper-regulation. This is the right answer. Option D. Okay. When you in real exam try to sometime, options are obvious, you can easily eliminate two options. So in real exam, try use this technique. If you eliminate two options, just you have to find answer among two, between two options. Okay, so it will help you in real scenario, real exam. Sorry. Question number 15. Physician asks why that we need to test methodology for this EMR system. Option A, utilize the project team fully. B, to ensure that the stakeholder of EMR system have confidence in system when going to production. Option C, we are getting reimbursement for meaningful use and we have to spend the money. And number D, it is mandatory in SDLC. Someone has replied already. D and C. Remember, right option is B, to ensure that the stakeholder of EMR system have confidence in system when going into production. Okay. Now we'll move to next question. That is, what is the purpose of testing? Option A, to verify that system is defect free. Option B, evaluate requirements of the system. Option C, find defects that were previous unknown so that defects can be corrected. And option D, utilize the PIMPAC project management methodology to ensure reliability. Mr. Basser, he has replied option A, to verify that system is defect free. Remember, we can never develop any system which is 100% defect free. So this is option. Okay, keep this point in mind. We cannot develop any system which is 100% defect free. Okay. So, yeah, Mr. Vinay is right. Find defects that were previous unknown so that defects can be corrected. C is the right option. Okay. Question number 70. The following are different levels of testing: acceptance testing, integration testing, error testing, performance testing. Okay. So remember, C is right option. Okay. There is no terms like error testing. Okay. There are regression testing, acceptance testing, user acceptance testing, performance testing, but there is no term such as like error testing. Hi, Philip, are you there?
Yes, Noor. Yes, hi.
So would you like to summarize what we have explained about something?
So yeah, as long as it is clear from
Yes.
my end, and sorry everyone, I've been traveling, and Noor has been kind enough to take over the whole session. But I'm happy. The first session, the whole intent was to give you a feel of how the test is happening in real world. Noor has been giving you tips and tricks on how to address the questions. It is important to understand the answers might be very similar, but you can of course um, eliminate answers, come down and narrow it down, look for the keywords in the questions, identify the key message in the question as well. If you can identify, is it a CIO taking the decision? Is it the team taking the decision? Is it the who is the key
Hello. Philip, your sound is breaking. Yeah. Hi, hello everyone. Sorry for inconvenience because Philip is traveling, so maybe he doesn't have good signal. So I'll continue from here. So now we are going to next part, that is privacy and security.
Hello.
And we will have, hi Philip.
Yeah, sorry, I think I got disconnected over there again.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Okay.
All in all, I think it's a good start. The intention is to give you a feel, and let's go ahead into the two last topics for today. Over to you, Noor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Philip. So now we are going to move privacy and security part. This is very important. So what is the objective of privacy and security? Okay. If you are working in healthcare and your role is like a information security officer, so you will be responsible for managing, defining policies and procedure. Okay. You will be responsible to identify tools, like, okay. And you have to provide appropriate physical and environment safeguard to protect assets. You will be responsible for assess privacy and security risk. You will be responsible for to implement processes to mitigate privacy and security vulnerabilities, manage user access like control. Okay, like there is a different role in hospital, like there are nurse or doctors, admin staff. So there. Okay. Okay. So like nurse, doctors, admin staff, they have different requirements. So they are not allowed to access all the data, patient data. Based on their job, they need to access their data. So you are going to make sure that they have proper level of access, okay? Define organization role like information security, physical security, and compliance. Develop data management controls
What
like
are you
data
looking at me for?
ownership, criticality, security level, okay, and maintain disaster recovery and business continuous plan, and perform privacy and security audits, okay. There are some multiple laws like regulation standard for privacy and security. ISO stand for International Organization for Standards. They have two standards for information IT organization, okay. There is information service management, we call ISO 20000, okay. And there is one certification we call ISO 27000. This is specific for only security, okay. Then another certification is like we have Federal Information Security Modernization Act, FISMA, HIPAA, we are always talking about HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. There is Graham and Leach Valley Act, PCI Processing Rules, and UK Data Protection Act of 1998 and European Data Protection Directive. And remember, National Institute of Standard and Technology is emerging as the de facto standard for information security. So let's try to understand what is privacy and security. Privacy means what data I want to keep confidential to myself. I don't want to tell anybody. This is called privacy, okay? So information that is to be held confidential and is permitted to be disclosed to those with a need to know. And security means how we are going to secure data, okay? How we are going to protect data. So privacy is deal about law, okay? And security deal about electronic data. So now we'll talk about key component of privacy laws. Okay, there is general rules of privacy, individual rights, and privacy administration requirement, and general security. So under general rule of privacy, first we have to define what data we need to protect. Okay, then we have to find out how data is to be used and disclosed and safeguarded. Okay, how we are going to disclose data. Okay, we are going to disclose data using facts. If you want to send data through email, it must be encrypted. Okay, and which organizations are affected and covered by the rules. Remember, this rule apply to all the business associate. What is business associate? To whom we are dealing as an organization, like as an healthcare hospital, healthcare. What happened? We have many contracts. Okay, so all the contractors will come under these laws. We are going to protect data, but they are also responsible to protect data, our data, what data we are sharing with them. Okay. So now we'll talk about individual rights like patient rights. Remember, as a patient, they have right to access their data. Okay, they have right to restrict their data. Okay, in case the patient is paying for his treatment or her treatment, he or she has right to ask organization not to share his data to insurance company because he's paying. Okay, in such case. Okay, he can request for confidential communication channel, as we discussed, like it should be encrypted. and accounting of disclosure. As a patient, he has right to ask healthcare providers to whom his data was shared. Okay. And he can also assign someone else. Maybe he is not able to make his decision. Maybe he is disabled person. So he can appoint on behalf of him to share his data. Okay. Somebody can make decision on behalf of him. Maybe his parents or his brother, like this. Okay. Now we'll talk about privacy administration requirement. What happened in healthcare? When we talk about information security, first we have to designate one person. Okay. Then he will perform, under him we are going to perform risk assessment. Okay. And after risk assessment, we will find vulnerabilities. Okay. And then we will plan like mitigation. Okay. Vulnerabilities, what is gap and what is the standard requirement, and we'll try to fill the gap. Okay. So for this we will do some kind of impact. Okay. If first we'll check likelihood. Okay. It will happen in year, it will happen in daily, yearly, or it will never happen. Based on that, we will make what we call mitigation. Okay. So let's talk about, first we have to designation of privacy security officer, development of policies and procedure, processing of complaints, monitoring and ongoing compliance, training program and sanction program. Okay. And what is gender security? Control of limitation on data content in systems, control regarding workforce members, and control regarding the physical environment where data and people resides. So remember, in when we implement security, we implement security at 3 levels. First, it should be at admin level. Okay. Admin level, administrative level. Then we come to physical level, and third one is technical level. Under physical level, under admin level, we define policies and procedures. Okay. Under technical level, we use like antivirus and firewall to protect data. Under physical level, we have monitoring. We have CCTV camera who is coming and going, who is moving inside our data room, complete monitoring. Okay. This thing we do. So now we'll talk about compliance processes like awareness. First, we need to train our staff. Okay, what is information security and healthcare? Why it's very important. Okay. Then we do assessment. Assessment we try to find the gap. Okay, what is the requirement from the government or from the state, and where we are. Okay. Based on that, we try to mitigate our risk. We do remediation and maintenance. So from where we get data, we get data from like organizational chart, new employee training materials, result from previous internal and external audits. Okay. Workforce information like administrative, like employee handbook, security and privacy training materials, disclosure, sanction policies, system use auditing and reporting. Physical safeguard like related workforce clearance, access, ability to physical structures, inventory of all software, portable devices, media, policies and procedure governing workstation and security, and technical safeguard like network diagram, policies, procedures, define electronic access privilege, audit and integrity control, authentication of person and entity, control for transmission security. Like, sometimes if you terminate due to some reason, if you terminate any staff or hospital terminate any staff, his ID and password must be disabled immediately. We should not delete, we should disable, so that we have, if you delete, you are going to lose that record. Okay. So what is gap analysis? We compare regulatory requirement to organization current baseline. Okay. What is the regulatory requirement and where we are now? Then we try to find the gap. And then we try to identify the step necessary to achieve compliance. Okay. Now we'll talk about facility walkthrough. Goal is to identify areas which could result in unauthorized access to health information. Okay, like terminal access. Suppose in old days we used to have modem. Okay, so and sometimes our ports are open, and hacker can exploit our open port. Okay, they can open. Okay, they can access to our server, and VPN should be secure. Facility control, it should be monitored by a CCTV camera. There should be a logbook who is accessing our data centers. Now we are going to talk about threats and vulnerabilities. First, what we do, as we discussed earlier, first we need to identify the threats, okay? And identification of vulnerabilities, likelihood determination, as we discussed early, it will happen in week, or it will happen in year, or it will never happen, okay? Based on this, we will do impact analysis, okay? If impact is high, okay, we must immediately, okay, we must immediately bridge this gap, okay? And then we just talk about risk determination, okay? There are maybe once you do risk analysis, we are going to find 10 or 20 risks, okay? So we cannot implement all the 20 risks at one time. We will identify the highest priority, okay? And we will give some number like this is highest priority, second one is like second and third and fourth, like this, okay? And then we do remediation, the process of closing the gap between current privacy and security practices and the requirement laws and standards. So as we talk in the admin level, we have to develop policies and procedures. So how we can develop policies and procedure? We have to identify the representative team to develop PPG. PP stands for policies and procedure. Collect existing PPP that relate to privacy and security. Identify business partners, okay? Business partner, we also call business associate, okay? Interview supervisor and frontline workers. Contact trade association, state bar, and other sources of information relevant to regulations, standards, laws for your region, okay? And place a draft PP2 into customary project plan process. Remember why PP is very important, policies and procedure. Like, you know, when we talk about PAC system, it's it need a lot of storage to remove MRI images. Some images are in gigabyte. So if you don't have policies and procedure, how long you are going to keep images in your server? Okay, like, so it's very difficult to keep the data forever for all the patients. Suppose you have thousands of patients and they are going to occupy a lot of hard disk images. So in such case, we must have policy like we are going to keep patient data for 5 years. After 5 years, we are going to delete those data. Okay. And this policy may have one exception, like, you know, if there is some investigation for certain patients, we are going to keep data for those patients. Okay. Under physical environment, cleaning person, he can okay, he can leak our data. Like computer screen, make sure, you know, computer screen placed in such a way that unauthorized person cannot see, okay, screen. Okay. Conversation, don't discuss patient data. We should not discuss patient data in like cafeteria or in elevator. Okay. We should inform our healthcare staff that copying of health information to their personal uh, device is not allowed. Disk and countertop. How to disposal of paper. We must shred before we dispose patient data. We should also inform it about key policies. Personal PDA stands for personal digital assistance. We should have a policy for bring your own device. Okay, whether some organization they prohibit, you cannot bring your own device and work. Okay, So based on this, we must have policies, okay? Whether we allow BYOD, bring your own device. Then we have printer and fax. From there, sometimes we print some confidential information and we forget to take it, okay? So we have to keep this point in mind. Record storage, workforce vigilance, and visitors. Under technical access control, minimum access necessary means try to provide information. As a healthcare guy, we should try to provide access to only minimum, okay, so that doctor can perform their work, okay? Don't provide more than that. Principle for access profile, like access to information must not be so restricted as to interfere with the quality and efficiency of healthcare, okay? We should try to strike the balance between security and work, okay? If you try to stick too much, it will interfere the work, okay, nurse or doctor's work, okay? So we must try to strike the balance between these two. Access shall be sufficiently restricted to afford patients members information as much privacy and security as possible. Modification or termination of access, okay? Modification or termination of access means it's some staff transfer from one section to another. His or her access should be immediately disabled, okay? Data management control, like we have device and media control, electronic transmission of health information, data integrity, data authentication control, and authentication of person or entity, okay? We already talked about device control, means whether we allow bring your own device or no, how we are going to transmit data. When we do electronic transmission of health information, it must be integrated, okay, encrypted. Data integrity, we have to make sure that when we are sharing data is same, data is not changed in between. Data authentication control, okay, and authentication person or entity. We must first authenticate the user who is trying to enter. He's the same person, okay? Who there is something has direct information. Now we are going to talk about training, methods of training. Training can be like, direct review of, as a staff, if you join any healthcare organization, maybe they will ask you to read their policies and procedure. This is also a mode of training, okay? PPG, we call. We can use PowerPoint slides and lectures. We can do online automated training, or we can use example of Gates or use of videos, okay? Nowadays, videos are very common for training. Training content, it should have awareness training, workstation use, policies and procedure, function and testing, okay? We must inform staff why we are giving the training, okay? When we join any hospital, they have a hospital-wide orientation where of hospital-wide orientation, and then there is a refresher training for every year. It's okay. So under this orientation, staff from all the department come and give information about their department, okay? Under IT, what we need to inform user, we have to inform what is the acceptable use of system. They must use for hospital system for their for work only. They should not use Facebook, or they should not share patient data to Facebook or any social media. We should inform these things, okay? Okay. So how we are going to manage risk management? First, we have already discussed this point. First, we have to do risk assessment. Then we have to plan for risk mitigation, the process to decrease the determine level of risk, okay? And evaluation and assessment. the process to monitor and take action to maintain the decreased level of risk. So what we do under risk, some risk we can tolerate, okay? So we don't take any action, okay? If there is a risk for system will be down for 10 minutes, it's under our tolerance limit. So we are not worried about, okay? Another, suppose some organization have two types of network. One is intranet, one is internet, okay? Internet, okay? So they have isolated network. So they don't have any problem. Outside person, they cannot hack their network, okay? So in this scenario, they should not worry about hacking from outside organization. There is no risk, okay? They have already avoided such risk. So auditing and monitoring tools, like it's very important. First, you can do self-audit, okay? Checklist, facility walkthrough. You can do interviews and reporting of finding, like areas of non-compliance and corrective actions. Remember, if you are using electronic health record system or any health clinical system, audit trail is very important. System must track all the information: who created the user, who deleted the user, who deleted the user information, and there should be some restriction. Like doctor, once he commits some information, he should not be allowed to change his or her information. Otherwise, he will do some mistake and later he will delete that information. So we cannot find who made the mistakes. So audit tracking is very important in healthcare system. Privacy and security incident, like in healthcare organization, most of the healthcare organization, they have a centralized system where staff can report if any incident happen, they will go to system and report, okay? And this will go to particular department. Some organization have a total quality department. They are responsible for managing these incidents, okay, day-to-day incidents. So implement process to respond quickly to an alleged breach, determine what occurred, and prevent recurrence of any violation or policy or law. Take steps to mitigate any harm, okay? In United States, if you leak by mistake, if any hospital leak any information, they have to pay big money, and minimum amount is like a $55,000. That is the minimum, and maximum it's too much. So information security is a big concern if you are working in like healthcare system in United States, okay? Audit trail, as I talked earlier, provide a mechanism to monitor user activity, accountability by individual, provides mechanism to identify suspicious activity and or breaches of information, provide necessary data for the organization to reconstruct, and past event where integrity of data may be questions. The act of monitoring function as a deterrent to internal workforce member from seeking inappropriate access to health and other sensitive information. Okay, just try to remember, we cannot secure, when we talk about electronic health record system, we have two types of level of access, like based on role or individual access. Still, there is a window of opportunity. They can access patient data, unauthorized person can access data. So we cannot develop a system mechanism in case unauthorized person access patient data. One email should go to his email ID. Please provide the reason why you access this patient data, this time and this date. So in this case, the staff will be scared. Okay, they know somebody is monitoring us, so they will not try to access uh, patient data which they are not authorized. Okay, once we already talk about how to secure data, but data, we need to protect data. So we are going to talk about what is data backup plan, what is our disaster recovery plan, emergency mode operation plan, testing and revision, application and data critical analysis. Okay, remember, all data is not critical, so we have to treat data based on their criticality. Okay, patient data is of course very critical, so we should give that data to highest priority. Okay, some data are not information. Okay, sorry, some data is not important, so we give that data low priority. So under backup plan, we have to define, we are going to make a daily backup or weekly backup or monthly backup. And under disaster recovery plan, okay, what is our tolerance limit, how we are going to recover from disaster. Under disaster recovery plan, we have to also have a contact number in case disaster happens. Whom staffs are going to contact, there will be level first, 3 and 4, like so on. Okay, and we must test our plan. What is the use of backup? Okay, uh, in case some disaster happen and our backups are not working, so we should always test whether our backup is working. So again, we are going to some question answer session. Question number 17, privacy, fill in the blank. Privacy defines dash of the information data to be held confidential, and security defines dash of the information data to be protected. Please provide your answer in chat box. Yes, you have few seconds, 4-5 seconds, then I will answer. I'll display the answer. This question is literally tricky. Mr. Brandas, he has replied, what and how? Yes. Yes, you are all right. Privacy define what data we need to secure, and security talk about how we are going to protect data. So you are all right. Now we'll move to question number 18. Privacy deal with dash and security deal with dash. Mr. Hussam, you have given option B. B2, yeah. Yes, Mr. Hussam, you are right. Privacy deal with laws, rules, and security deal with electronic data. Okay. Now we'll go to next option. Electronic access privilege, audit and integrity control, authentication of person or identity are examples of documents gathered for the assessment of privacy and security. Option A, general information for the business, workforce information, physical safeguard, and the technical safeguard. Brianna. Yes. Yes. Mr. Usham and Brianna, you're right. It's option D. Yeah. Technical safeguard. It's the right answer. Because here keyword is electronic access privilege, audit, integrity, controls, authentication, person or identity. It's come under technical. We are not talking about PPG, or we are not talking about like fire suppression system. We are not talking about camera like surveillance. Yeah. Now we are going to move next section, leadership. Philip, are you there?
Yes, Noor, I'm still here, and
Uh,
yeah, thank you for calling out.
okay. Would you like to
Am
summarize
I
what?
audible? Yeah, am I
Yeah, I can
audible?
listen.
Good.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things, reiterating to the fact that you've heard in the last half an hour to 45 minutes. A couple of things when it comes to privacy and security. The core message, I think it sort of sums up in the last 5 minutes in the question. Privacy deals with the what you actually have to define in terms of the data, and security actually defines how you're actually going to protect it, right? So this is a very key message. Keep that in mind, and that is how you sort of differentiate between privacy and security. And similarly, all the policies and procedures is a very important thing. A lot of hospitals might be in the process of doing it. They might be in a state where they are getting into a maturity level. Again, there are different maturity levels for privacy and security as well. We're not touching into that right now. But these are different things to keep in mind as and when you do it. The other couple of things that I wanted to quickly mention, which is directly not in scope, but may be tested as well, is the new trends that are coming up, right? Couple of them from a high level is coming into the situations when you have the data not on premise but on the cloud. There was part of it when you, I think a slide that was actually pointing towards that direction. But cloud data that is actually being stored on the cloud, how do you guarantee the privacy, and how do you secure it? There is a statement that is very common. I'll just quote it over here. Security of the cloud is the responsibility of the service provider. Security in the cloud is your responsibility. So off the cloud and in the cloud. So if you're having it on
Philip, your voice is breaking. Okay, guys, sorry for inconvenience. We'll start. Yes, network connectivity problem. So now we are going to talk about leadership. So what is objectives? Understand skills required of IT organization. As a leader, he must understand what is the requirement, because each organization has different requirement. Healthcare requirements are completely different if you compare to other organization. So how to communicate effectively to other leaders and organization, communication skills, assess current status. Okay. Assess current status, like communicate with users, understanding departmental system effectiveness, monitoring indicators. We will discuss about indicators later. Align IT organization with the company mission, vision, goals, and strategies. Establish positive and constructive relationship with vendors. So as a leader, what leaders do? They try to set a strategic goal with other stakeholders like management staff, technical staff. They bring together and do brainstorming. They use some tools like SWOT analysis to establish a strategic goal. A strategic goal is usually 3 to 5 years goal. Okay. From that, they define mission statement, means why we exist. Okay, and mission statement should be easily understood, like epic mission statement: do good, have fun, make money. Vision statements mean where organization want to go or be. It should be simple to remember. And this is usually set by chief executive officer at organization level. Remember, chief executive officer, uh, he's trying to bridge the gap. There are top level management, okay? Leaders are top, and there is operation day-to-day of hospital, how it's function. And chief executive officer is responsible for see the overall healthcare organization, how it's function. So as a leader, he should try to forecast organization goal. Should direct IT and not reverse. Okay, remember, organizations should direct IT, not the IT. Every project need operational leadership. Fully understand customer technology and infrastructure needs. Okay, as a leader, okay, in real scenario, I have seen a lot of leaders. They don't know about HL7, DICOM standards. So how they are going to select a good healthcare system? So as a leader, he must have good knowledge about what's the current technology in healthcare, what is different standard and terminology. He should not know how to implement it, but he should have a broad knowledge. Okay. Establish priority methodology, risk management plan, and benchmarking. Okay. Now we are going to talk about some indicator monitoring tools like DMAC, define, measure, analyze, improve. It's a tools. And other tools like tools of measurement, we can use Gantt chart, stated milestone with timeline, dashboard, like dashboard can show target, date, trend, and control chart. Under control chart, there are two limits, upper limits and lower limits, and there is a mean. Okay, so if any process is under limit, it's okay, under upper and lower limit. Okay. As a leader, he should be responsible for assessment of system and department effectiveness. Okay, define baseline. Okay, like baseline can be for anything. Like we when we implement new system, like just I will give example in terms of hardware. When we buy new hardware, like new servers, we should develop a baseline. What is the baseline? What is the configuration? So based on that, if you make changes later, we can identify where we made the change and that change caused the error problem. So we can go back to our previous, like in new terms, we call it snapshot. In virtual technology, like we have virtual servers. So what we do, we take a snapshot before we do any mistakes. Sorry, when we upgrade any system, we take snapshots. So if any problem happen, we go back to our previous snapshots. Okay. So he should have knowledge about internal versus external analysis, view analysis through eyes of customer. Okay, what is the customer feedback about services we are providing? or healthcare providing. Open communication, regular feedback through organized methodologies like monthly surveys or yearly surveys, okay, and continual objective to improve utilization, okay. Remember, healthcare IT or any organization is continuous changing, healthcare IT or IT department. So we should always remember we have to plan, do, check, act, and it keep on running in loop. Okay, well, you cannot develop system and just forget. Okay, because even hardware is going to be obsolete in 3 years to 5 years. And about software, based on the government requirement, we need to update our system. Sometimes requirement from government, okay. Sometimes requirement comes from customer, okay. Due to COVID, we have start like virtual clinic, okay. People start using online appointment. Hospital you start sending medication through courier like this, okay, due to COVID situation. So as a leader, he has responsibility to measure, like measure pre-implementation efficiencies, baseline system or process, measure result immediately, allowing implementation once we do any upgrade, measure before and measure after upgrade, so he can see the gap, okay. Regular follow-up, process review, and map of changes will serve as a quantitative assessment of system effectiveness. In this, customer and project is sponsor in defining quantitative dimension to be measured. More input increase accuracy of assessment. Okay, once we have more input, we have more feedback from more users, it will help us to improve. Once we have developed, like once healthcare organization have a strategic plan, all the departments should develop a yearly plan or operation plan, and that plan must be aligned to a strategic plan. Okay, just for example, if hospital strategic plan is to provide safe healthcare, so as an IT department, we can have our goal or our yearly plan is to implement uh, electronic prescription system, CPOE. Okay, so as a leader, he should connect objective to organizational strategic goal, identify major project to objectives, and establish goal for all major projects. Okay, he should participate in policies and procedures for information system like adherence to technology and regular standards, adherence to ethical and business principle. Ethics is very important. A departmental like backup procedures, security process, and operational schedule, report, and process. Organizational level, he should be responsible for authorization access procedures, email system access, appropriate use policy. He must participate in development of these policies and procedures. Okay, compliance of hyper regulations, measurement, do what is measurable, measure what you do, review what you have measured, act on the results of what information. If it's not measured, how do you know you have improved? Okay, something if you cannot measure, we don't know whether we improve or we are same or we have gone down. As a leader, he will participate in employing comparative analysis strategy, financial and non-financial indicators, benchmark, quality indicators, preparing and delivering business communication, facilitation of group discussion and meetings, function as an in-house consultant, okay, and relationship with vendors and management of vendor and contracts. See, contract management is very important, okay, and it should be being win and win situation for both party, for the contractor and as an organization. Okay. If you don't, if a contractor, he didn't get the proper amount, he will not provide good service. Okay. Keep this point in our mind. He will be responsible for facilitate understanding of business operation, determine system needs, coordinate RFP and RFI process, implementation, selection process, other project management discipline, and facilitate critical thinking to engage productivity improvement and create industry educational opportunity through like HIMS or others. He should possess like critical thinking skills like conflict resolution. There are many types of conflict. Educational strategies for IT function, acquiring information and skill from variety of sources, stay current using market and industry trends. I have already discussed this point, and development of IT strategic plan. Okay. Now we have a few questions. Question number 20. Leadership is a critical skills for A, executive managers, every individual of an organization, C, CIO, and CTO, and project managers. You have 5 seconds to answer your question. This question. B, executive manager. D, Brina, project managers. C, right option is B, every individual of an organization. Everyone is responsible for. Okay. Okay. Leadership skill is important for all the staffs. Okay. Now we have another question. One of the tools for mapping vision, goals, and project is project crosswalk, project charter, project procurement plan, and D, project management plan. Right option is A, project crosswalk. Question number 22. The mission statement of healthcare organization should specify all the following except finance, community, management structure, and services. This question is a little tricky. The mission statement of healthcare organization should specify all the following except finance, community, management structure, and services. So right option is C, management structure. So now we are going to move to next. That is, we have under this, we have two parts, management part 1 and part 2. In part 2, we'll talk about PMI, project management. And remember, we are going to talk about project management, PMBOK 6. Latest one is PMBOK 7. So our PPT is based on PMBOK 6. So before I go ahead, I will request Philip, if you would like to say something. Philip, are you there?
Yes, Zohair. Yes, no, sorry.
No
I keep
problem.
getting disconnected once in a while. But yeah, I think that was a good introduction into the whole management part of it. So With these questions, I think let's move forward.
Yeah, okay.
There are some more questions, I believe, at the end of the whole thing, which should put a few things together.
Yeah, just I would like to add, these questions are very close to real exam. Maybe wording you will find wording different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move to management part. So what management or managers do? Once leaders set the goal, they will try to implement it. Okay, they will take the strategic plan, they will break into operational or yearly plan, and this will lead to development of some kind of task or projects. Okay. Okay. So what is our objective? Identify ways managers peers, understand basic of managing departmental resources, list 5 project phases. As we know, PMI, there are 5 phases in project management, in traditional project management or waterfall project management. 5 steps to create project plan, recognize essential for team participation, and understand key approaches to customer services. So first, let's see definition of management, process of achieving organizational goals by planning, organizing, leading, and controlling organizational resources. So staffing key success factor, staff must have be knowledgeable, interpersonal skills, he must possess interpersonal skills, teamwork, okay, work ethics, and right fit. These are responsibilities of management. Okay, what we are discussing now is part of management. Okay, management is responsible for hiring staff. Okay, because leaders will set the goals and management will try to achieve uh, those goals using resources, staffs, like human power, human resources. So staff job description set basic expectation. Okay, what is training requirement, what is skills we need, what is experience requirement, qualification. They should communicate clearly so that other person can understand. Used to screen candidate. Okay, staffing job description continue. Minimum requirement like license, education, reporting relationship, whom he is going to report. Okay, he is going to report like supervisor or director or chief executive officers. What his responsibilities, measurable standards, expectation, salary, grade level, required documentation if legal dispute, and basis for position control. Recruitment methodologies, how you are going to recruit. You give advertisement in newspaper, word of mouth like networking, or like LinkedIn websites or any other social media, professional association like internet, like employer website, public databases like monster.com, like HIMS job mine, many others. This is also part of management, selection and hiring, viable candidate selection. Primary criteria is like experience, qualification, education, communication skills, and right fit. Uh, how you are going to conduct interview, like personality, communication skills, interact with other individual, confident or cocky, or listener or chatty. There are based on HIPAA, there are some interview constraints. Some information you can ask, you cannot ask, okay, from staff. Okay, legal concern, fair and equal employment practice. You cannot ask marital status, sexual preference, ethnic origin. We are talking about HIPAA. Okay, okay. Health status, family plans, religion, height or weight, and financial status. These information you cannot ask when you are recruiting any staff. Retention is very important because organization spend a lot of money to recruit, okay, one staff. And what will happen after you provide a training, everything, and he left after 1 month or after 1 year? Your organization is going to lose a lot of money and time, okay? So how to retain staff? This is also part of the management, because turnover costs high dollar. Employee satisfaction is KPI for success. KPI stands for key performance indicator. Keys to low turnover, competitive benefits, lower career development and training. Okay, they should have a opportunity to develop themselves. A safe and fair work environment, very important. Professional development. They must be recognized for their work, and competitive salary. Performance methodologies, how you are going to monitor performance, rating scales, 360 meters, periodic review, or customer satisfaction. Under performance evaluation, feedback opportunity, assess work performance, attitude, professional growth, goals, achievements, reset expectation. Once your expectation is achieved, we need to reset it, okay? Measurable goals. Goals should be measurable, okay? Our goals should be SMART. Customers level agreement, best practice in help desk process, timely customer feedback, issue tracking and reporting mechanism, and service. So what is SLA, service level agreement? When we have a contract with some third party, we should have some kind of SLA, service agreement, service level agreement. Like if our system, we have some problem, how long they are going to take, okay? If, just I have one question. Okay, sorry. So under service level agreement, we should define expectation. Like if in case there is a problem, we have hardware failure, within how many hours we are going to get support from our vendor, okay? Best practices, we can implement information technology infrastructure library, ITIL, okay? Timely customer feedback, okay? If we there is customer any inquiry, we should provide feedback in timely manner, okay? And we can also perform like satisfaction survey, okay? Like patient satisfaction survey or staff satisfaction survey to get feedback how our system is working or how much they are satisfied with our services, these things. Okay. Now we are going to move second part of the management. In this part, we are going to talk about project management methodologies. Before this, I would like to ask Philip if you have any comment or. Philip, are you there?
Yes, Noor.
Would you like to say something
no,
about?
nothing to add specifically. I think the key message over here is for everyone attending the session, trying to differentiate what is leadership and management.
Yeah.
I know we started off with leadership and we sort of burst the bust in terms of who all should be responsible from a leadership perspective. And management is, the sessions around management is specifically giving you a picture or giving you an outline of how exactly it is implemented. Right. So let us go through part 2 also, and then we will put everything together with the last set of questions that you have.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. So remember, we are this slide is based on PMBOK 6. Okay. So what is project management? The application of knowledge, skill, tools, and technique to project activities in order to meet or exceed stakeholder needs and expectation from a project. Okay. So under 6, there are 10 project management knowledge areas. First one is project integration management, project scope management. We have already talked about what is the scope. Time management, we have already discussed. Cost management, quality management, resource management, project communication management, and project risk management, and project procurement management, and stakeholder management. Okay. Remember, managing a stakeholder is very important. Okay, so maybe if how you are going to identify stakeholders. Suppose you are going to establish any like a kind of factory which is going to pollute the environment. So you must get the input from the person who is staying in those areas. Okay. Otherwise, it will be a problem. Later they will oppose. Okay. So before you implement any, put any amount in your project, try to identify all kind of stakeholders. Okay. So as we know, there are our project move from 5 phases: project initiation, planning, project execution, project monitoring and controlling, and project closing. So this is we are talking about traditional project management or waterfall project management. Okay. We are talking to just understand, okay, because now we are using most in software development, we are using agile project management methodology. Okay, so we'll try to understand briefly what is different. Okay, especially in software project management, we use agile. Agile means all the steps happen in parallel. Okay, and there are many terms for this agile project management. Some organizations use Scrum, some use DevOps. DevOps, what's happened? They bring operational and development organization together. DevOps, okay. So let's go back to our 5 phases of project management. Under initiation, we try to find why we are going to take this project. We do feasibility analysis, cost benefit analysis, everything we do under initiation. Okay. Feasibility analysis, we try to understand whether this is feasible or not. Okay, if like if you are trying to make a try to develop system in house, whether we have a proper staff, whether we have a skilled staff who can develop system, this thing we do before we go to next step. After feasibility analysis, we do cost benefit analysis. Okay, like whether it's worth. Okay, if you we are going to implement sorry, if you're going to spend $10,000 and we are getting 5,000 benefit, $5,000 of benefit, so it's not good for us. Okay. Under project planning, once we move from initiation, we go to project planning. Means we have identified all our requirement under initiation. We have developed project charter. We have authorized project managers. Now we are going to plan project plan. We will develop project plan, project management documentation, project plan. We will reserve staff. Okay, we will try to find our resources. Okay, some important resources will be available or not available. This all thing we do under project planning. Okay, so there will be stakeholder management plan. All the plans will come under scope management plan. Okay, then execution. Okay, remember all this happen in parallel. Okay, not happen in step by step. Okay, just for understanding point of view, we are discussing here one by one. Okay, under execution, it's we really develop implement our plan. Okay, and under project monitoring and controlling, we see whether things are going according to our plan. Okay, if things are not going according to plan, we need to take some steps. Okay, proactive steps. Okay, otherwise what will happen? We have already discussed, scope creep will happen in case we are not monitoring our project and controlling our project. Okay, Under closing, what we do, once our project is over, we close the project. When we close the project, we try to gather such information like what we lesson learned, what was good, where we didn't perform well. These information we need to be documented, okay, in somewhere, maybe in our knowledge base system, okay. So when we initiate project, authorized by appropriate management, identify business needs, project goal established, and expectation sets, and project charter created. All this happen under initiation. Under project planning, create customer objectives, deliverable to meet objectives, develop a schedule to meet deliverables, okay, and develop plans to support staff role and responsibilities, and define project risk probability of occurrence, contingency plan if risks occur, okay. Under project management execution, we have a key element like milestone, clear, concise, when, and communication plan. Project management control, set up monitoring tools such as, we can use some kind of software like MS Word, MS Microsoft Project, which is going to help us to manage, okay, our project. Task assignment via Outlook, you can send an email. What is their task, your staff task, okay? Auto email task, reminder, discipline, regularly manage meeting, high level reporting to senior management, and communicate red flag, risk, and met milestones, okay? Under project management close, we try to find objective met, milestones completed, and customer acceptance and lesson learned. Now we'll have a few questions here again. Question number 23. Which of the following departments would hold primary responsibilities for recruitment of staff for health information technology project? Here, remember, keyword is health information technology projects, okay? So option A is financial, option B is information technology, option C, legal, option is 4 is human resource. We have questions, option C, 1, 2, 4, option C. Option C is one financial, information technology. Okay. Remember, right option is option B, 2, information technology, and option 4, human resource. 2 and 4 is right, okay. Question number 24. In order to find the right fit of IT professional for the healthcare facility, the IT manager will determine the candidate's ability to function within the culture and values of the department and organization, implement system utilizing SDLC, conduct project management utilizing PMBOK methodology, and option D, provide strategic, operational, and system management. Yeah, Mr. Osam, Carmen, you're right. Yeah. Right option is option A, function within the cultures and value of the department and organization. Question number 25. The following are knowledge areas of project management according to PMBOK. 6 except integration management, scope management, strategic management, procurement management. Yeah, Mr. Osam, you're right. Yeah, Raina, you are also right. Strategic management is right option because there is no such term as strategic management. Question number 26. A CFO has voiced concern regarding data integrity after a system upgrade. The CIO should reassure the CFO data integrity was maintained by A. Providing a comparative analysis with known values. B. Arranging a meeting with a vendor representative. Reviewing the test plan with CFO. D. Procurement management. A. Mr. Hossam, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Option A is the right, correct? Providing comparative analysis with known values. Now we are going to question number 27. A post-implementation assessment of new clinical decision support system indicates that the expected ROI stands for return on investment, is not being achieved. The assessment data shows users are failing to complete analysis requests at a higher level than expected rate. At what testing phase should this have been detected? A. Black box. B. Usability. C. Data integrity. D. User acceptance. Okay. In this, yeah, Mr. Briner. So Vinay. Yes, you all are right. Mr. Vinay, Osam, and Raina. Yes. User acceptance. Okay. This problem should have identified when testing was moving under user acceptance. Okay. As question number 28. The final accountability of impact of information technology on healthcare organization is chiefly the responsibility of Chief Technology Officer. Remember the keyword, the final accountability of the impact of information technology. Keyword here is final accountability. Okay, so the options are A, Chief Technology Officer, option B, Chief Information Officer, option C, Executive Officer, and option D, Chief Financial Officer. As I mentioned earlier, the keyword is here, final accountability. Final accountability, it will go to Chief Executive Officer. Okay. Chief Executive Officer will talk to like Chief Information Officer or Chief Technology Officer. Okay. So the right answer is Chief Executive Officer. Now we are going to question number 29. A new compliance officer is beginning to assess the organization adherence to information security policies. The first step is to determine if the organization has, the keyword here is first step is to determine if the organization has. So options are A, formally assigned security responsibilities to an individual. Option B, created an employee security awareness program. C, completed a review of security policies and procedures. Option D, perform a test of physical security of the organization's information systems. Okay, I'll wait for 5 seconds, then I will display answer. Here, everyone C, then B. Okay. So we are here talking about first step. First step, okay. All steps will happen, but what is the first step? First, formally assign security responsibility to an individual. We must first assign a staff at a position called Chief Information Officer, okay? And under him, all these things will happen, okay? At top level, first assign a staff like Chief Information Officers. So option A is right. Formally assigned a security responsibility to an individual. This question was a little tricky. Now we are going to question number 30. Oh, sorry. Sorry. My mistake. Okay. Question number. I hope you can see the question number 30. Which of the following provide most input for forecasting technology need of an organization? I hope you are able to see my screen. Options are A, stakeholder needs analysis. Option B, organizational strategic plan. C, technology forecast from third parties. Option D, departmental need analysis. So keyword here is most input for forecasting, okay, technology needs. Okay, I have one option B. I'm going to say strategic plan. Yeah, Carmen, you are right. Because all of the things happen once we have our strategic plan. Okay, even our projects, our strategic goal, our requirement, all will be determined by our strategic plan. Okay, suppose any hospital is paper based, they are using paper to manage their hospital, and now their strategic plan is to move from papers to electronic system. So that is going to lead a lot of tasks and projects. Okay. Okay, that brings us to our last and final part of the webinar. We hope you would have found this information useful. Now, if you have any question, we will be more than happy to answer. And just, yeah, Flip, go ahead.
No, as I was mentioning earlier, I think just keep track of the trends in each and everything. Starting from the security and privacy, we were talking about a few trends. Just make sure that you are aware of the cloud security, privacy, the internet security, the Internet of Things security, privacy things. And then moving from there, the handheld devices or bring your own devices kind of things. So when the, all these comes into the equation, there are slight changes in the policy, but in general, the procedures or the rules would be the same. Keep track of it. And then moving into what is leadership, and then the management session 1 had introduced you from a perspective of the entire management, and management session 2 introduced you specifically from the PMI perspective, where it's a global standard that you follow for project management professionals. And I think it's a good way to bring everything together. And I think all these questions are at a what do you say, at a high level, giving you an indication of what is the direction you have to move into. There are plenty of sample questions out there along with the review guides. Please follow that. And now we are just open for you in the next 10-15 minutes. If you have any questions, we are ready to take them. And if not, good luck with the examinations and your career forward. Over to you, Noor.
Okay, I would like to our attendees who is planning to take this exam within coming 3 to 5 months. Let us know, because Cameron is okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say not to delay it even within a month. I would say right now all of you have the chance of having the information pretty warm and right, ready to go and take the examinations. I would say they spend maximum up to 3 to 4 weeks, go through each of these modules that we've given you a chance to get exposed to, and it's not that difficult as you seem it is. And I wouldn't say 5 months is too long a horizon to attempt the exam.
Yeah, just I mean 3 to 5 months like this. 5 months is, you're right, too long. So what I would like to suggest, make a strategic goal, like it's your strategic goal, like we talk about in project management. Make a this exam as a strategic plan, and you have to achieve within 3 months. Okay, based on this, break your content, what you are learning, based on daily or weekly basis, and use some kind of KPI. We called about KPI. In our in this scenario, our KPI will be some question and answer. Take few question and answer every day and try to solve it, and check how much you are scoring. If you are scoring above 80 or 90% continuously, you are ready for the exam. Okay, and as Philip mentioned earlier, this exam is not tough. This, what is the goal of this course? Okay, or HIMS, this certification. We can see the healthcare organization from the top. We call bird eye view. There are many components in healthcare organization. So once we go through this course, we can see how the different organization or function work together. Okay, what is the role of like managers? What is like OPD, and there are inpatient, pharmacy, how data flows from one section to another. Okay, data is going, how we are going to secure data. Okay, how we are going to make sure that data is available when it's needed. Okay, some data they need online data, like patient information. It should be real data. For management, we can decide, oh, this data we can provide like a weekly basis. Okay, when we are going to select system, how you are going to decide which system is good, which system is not good, because implementing healthcare system is very costly affair. Once you implement system, it's very difficult to change. Okay, it's take a lot of time, resource. Okay, and it's a very costly affair. So first, we should try to select the good system based on our requirement. Okay, we should not be influenced by just outlook system is looking very very good, very good outlook, very good interface. We should try to understand how inside the system, how it's work. Okay, whether uh, we are going to select system, it will integrate with other system or not. Okay, okay, so we are open. If you have any question, you can communicate with us through our social web page like HIMS web page, HIMS India chapter. If you need, we can provide our email ID also. Philip and me, we can provide our email ID, and you can communicate us directly. Okay, we will try our best to help you to pass this certification.
Yes, definitely. I think email IDs are anyway there shared, and you can also find us on LinkedIn. I think some of you have already reached out to us on LinkedIn, and you can always follow the HIMS India chapter account on LinkedIn as well. We are all part of that. So if you have any questions, if you have any needs as a part of this whole journey towards the certification, please reach out to us. We're always there to help you.
Yeah, and also give us feedback about our presentation, how we can improve. Okay, your feedback is very important. There is always chance for improvement. So we'll try to make our presentation, our webinar. So Philip, we will wait for another 2-3 minutes. If they have any questions,
sure.
After that we'll stop. Okay. And thanks for being with us so long, almost 2 hours.
Yeah, thank you everyone. 2 hours today, and I would say, over the last 3-4 days, weeks in fact, and 4 sessions. I can see the grit in most of you who's already attended all the 4 sessions. So good luck with it. Keep up with the same temperament and the goal to actually get the certification done. Do it as quick as possible when the information and the knowledge is warm. Don't delay it. And yeah, once again, good luck with it. Any questions? Like I said, go ahead and ask.
There is one question from
Get
Mr.
yourself.
Vahaz.
Yeah.
Where can get sample question or exam? Simple question or exam to evaluate our readiness to give the exam. And another question is coming from Carmen. Will this video be sent out along with questions? Yeah, of course it will. Can we have copy of slides, please?
So a couple of easy things.
Yeah. Okay, later we will ask our management to share slides. Okay, Philip, go ahead.
No, I was saying the slides can definitely be shared. We have to do a little bit of back-end work to make the recordings available. But at one point of time, it will be definitely available. That is the understanding we have. And just going into questions, there are quite some information available there. The CPHIMS review guide version 3, if you have access to it, it's the earlier version. At the end of every chapter, there are questions available. And I think it's not a surprise. Noor also has a YouTube link. If you follow him on YouTube, there is at least I think, is that 400 questions, Noor, if I'm right?
Yeah, around 400.
Yes, so I think that would be good enough to start off. I would recommend that as well. He's taken most of these modules and gone through the questions for each one of them. He's taken the effort of putting it up for anybody on YouTube. I think, Noor, you can share the link towards that as well. That will be a good point. But don't consider that as a formal what do you say, guide towards the questions, but it is something that Noor has, over the period of time, based off his experience and preparation for the exams, has collated and made it available publicly. Take it as a as a reference material. It's very similar. To be honest, I've used it myself, and I would highly recommend that.
Okay, sorry. Just one moment, please.
Noor, anything else you want to add?
No, that's all. I've shared link now in our chat box. Okay, Philip, so do you conclude? Sure.
Very happy to see, all of you who has joined, and it's our pleasure being with you.
Yeah, right.
And hopefully, I think in the next 5 to 6 months, we should have the next session as well. So once we make the announcement, please share it with your colleagues or anybody in the future as well who would like to, chase their dreams of getting CPHIMS certified and getting into the healthcare IT environment. That's it mostly from my end. Once again, thank you from the HIMS India chapter. Noor, thank you very much
Thanks.
on
Thanks.
leading the entire training. Is Salma still there?
So let me check. No, I think she has left.
Okay.
She has
So
left, yeah.
thank you to Salma as well, and anybody from the HIMS India chapter who helped coordinate and put this together. And all of you who have attended, once again, do not procrastinate, I would say. Use the information and the knowledge that you have garnered over the last 3 to 4 weeks. At the same pace, proceed ahead. Both of us are easily available to be contacted. We are not that difficult to reach out to. And I would say just go ahead, give the examination. I think that should be a goal as soon as possible, probably within a month.
Yeah. Just I would like to mention here, one guy, he failed this exam 5 times, and in 6th term he passed the exam. So he was my colleague. So what I mean, he didn't lose, he didn't lose his momentum. Just he set his goal. I need most of the time I have seen people pass this exam at first attempt. That was exception. So what I mean, he keep on going. He started this exam preparation in year 2018, and recently he passed the exam. Okay, Philip, what do you?
I think that's it, Noor. Let's wrap it up for the day. I don't see any additional questions coming in.
Yeah, one question is there. Question, please, about exam. If I failed, I can retake. Yes, you can retake with the less price. No need to pay the same amount.
That's another motivation.
Yeah.
You can definitely retake, and we all hope that you don't have to retake. Yes. So let's prepare towards that. Yeah.
What is specific period? There is no, you can apply immediately. There is no waiting time, I think. Like PMP, you have to wait for some time. Philip, are you, any idea? Do you have any idea?
No, so usually you do apply with the latest version that has come live from 2021 January onwards and forwards. There was a beta phase, I believe, and then it has gone live completely. There's no delay. There is an option even to actually be proctored from home. There is, of course, the centers that you can apply to also. So depending on the region, I would say just go ahead and apply. There is a team who would very promptly respond to you. Depending on your region, they will give you the options to both apply to going to a center and giving the exam, as well as being proctored from home and giving the exam as well. There are certain conditions of actually being proctored from home. That would completely depend on the region. So I would say go ahead, fill in the details, and apply for it. You of course even have a chance to even reschedule it. So nothing to worry about. Put yourself, set a date, and yeah, go ahead with the examinations.
Yeah. Okay. So
So I think that's it.
okay, that's it. We'll stop the recording now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you still want to stop
Once again,
recording?
take care,
Yes.
everyone. Good luck.